Alright, welcome to day 28 of the Vera Series, and we got 1 week left until we reach patch 2.2. So hopefully by now you're level 80, but starting out you want to go to our artificial island, and we want to go back to build, and then we want to hit claim, because remember, we can only hold these resources for 24 hours. On top of that, don't forget to clear your enemies for the week, and you want to visit the exchange store and go ahead and buy out those weekly items. Next, you want to do Mia's Kitchen, and you want to knock out your 4 bounties for the day, and I'm just going to go with Vera, which brings us to Vitality, starting with joint operations. So for today, we got access to boots, and we can do the Sadness Valley. So these are actually some pretty good dungeons, and you may want to use some Vitality solution. But we also want to check out Interstellar Exploration. And remember, you want to check Aspera, as well as check Vera, so that way you can get all of your Stargates. And the best way to tell if you have a level 3 Stargate is to look at this weapon battery category. If it has a number 3, it's a 3 Stargate. If it has a number 2, it's a 2 Stargate. But if you don't have any level 3s or level 2s, you could always do Dimensional Trials. And if you need money, you could always do Space-Time Domains. But if you're pressed for time, you could always make Omnium Beacons, which brings us to our optionals, and that is giving gifts to your 1.0 characters, and the best way to do that is to do the Black Market, Cetus Island, and do the Claw Machine, and to knock out your 2 trainings for the day. But what is not optional is to do your 6 Fun Zones, and try and do your 6 Greyspace Fissures. And if you have time, I would try to go ahead and knock out the Twilight Zone, because it does have the best rewards, but you do have an 8-hour time limit, so there is technically no rush. If you need help on how to do any of that, I got a guide on my channel. And then you don't want to forget about appointed research. Remember, you only get 5 free energy a day, but you can only hold up to 20. So you want to make sure that this does not cap. Also, if you enjoy these daily guides, I would greatly appreciate a like, so that way they can spread more on YouTube. And in case you didn't know, Nemesis is now out. I already made a video about is she worth a pull, so be sure to check that out if you're considering rolling for Nemesis. And then we got the Fall Guys event. So for today, we can now reach a grand total of 9,000. One more day and we're going to reach that 10,000 cap. Then we got the weekly tab. You want to make sure you do enough things down here so that way you can get everything up top. You already know how I feel about type 3 keys. You might want to save some keys, especially since we're going into patch 2.2 next week. Then we got our challenges. So if you're trying to do something like the Bygone Phantasm, our Frontier Clash, you might want to save your Mia's Kitchen so that way you can power yourself up. But starting with the Bygone Phantasm. So first you want to look and see if you have a good weapon bonus. And if you do, you might want to try to do this sneak to next level. And if your CS is high enough, you're going to be able to jump up 11 levels as long as you can beat that floor. But the biggest thing that's going to determine your rank is Sequential Phantasm. So if you can get a high score here, you're almost guaranteed to get the best rewards. Frontier Clash, we got another attempt today, so you can go ahead and knock it out, or you could just wait till Saturday. Wormhole, we got 3 days left to do this, and you want to do that so that we can get that energy crystal dust. Void Rift, if this is a first time boss for you, you want to go ahead and knock that out. Raids, you want to do the last 2 on Heroic, and you want to do Battle Test Area on Heroic, so that way you get the best rewards for the week. Break from Destiny, you want to make sure you do this at least 1 time, so that way you can get those seasonal 250 dark crystals. And Apex League, if you're trying to reach Grand Marshal, you might want to put a couple hours in each day. Then we got our daily buys, so you want to go to shop, hot, and then buy your 2 Vitality solutions. But for me, I have 102, so I'm going to pass. But if you can afford it, you also probably want to try to get your advanced modules and your booster modules for the week. And if you want to well out, you could always do appointed research. Which brings us to the Commissary, starting with the Crystal Dust store. So you want to make sure you buy your advanced modules, your booster modules, and your very special gift for the week. And then when it comes to your potent Omnium crystal, I recommend that you pass, because we should get enough through exploration alone to reach an 8.3 or 8.4 suppressor. But what you can do with your golden crystal dust is buy a good pair of boots. If you have a good pair of boots, you can buy handguards. You can have a good pair of handguards, and you can buy whatever else you want. Space Time store, you want to buy your booster modules, your advanced modules, and your data repeater for the week. Brew store, now the only thing I recommend that you spend your points on are relics, and the relics that I recommend are Space Time Rift, unless you have a level 3, or Omnium Shield. Support store, now you want to buy your 3 joint supply chips for the week, and if you can, try to buy your proof of purchase and your gold nucleus using return support points. And if you need help on how to do that, I got a guide on my channel. Point store, now the only thing you want to spend your points on are spare special gifts, so that way you don't have to do training, Black Market, or Cetus Island again. But if you need to level up your matrices or weapons, you could always buy matrix data packs or weapon batteries. But besides that, I just recommend that you explore all of Vera, especially this Mirroria district, because in patch 2.2, this is going to greatly expand. I would try to knock this completely out. On top of that, I am coming out with some pretty big guides later on, basically showcasing Tian and Lyra, and I know I've been saying for 10 years, I'm going to try to get that starter guide, so look forward to that later on this week. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this. If so, feel free to check out my Shoot You Pull for Nemesis, but other than that, talk with you guys later.